Yo, so my name is Judah1, David Oliver. I'm a poet, I'm an author, I'm a teacher, a cultural entrepreneur in this area. I meant to say it like that.
You've been busy since our last interview. One being Lion Like Mind State. You reopened it last year. How's that currently going?
Currently it's closed again already. That venue that I opened at the Upland Indoor Arena just wasn't as conducive to our style or the vision that I had in mind. I thought it was going to be a little bit more open than it actually ended up being. So had to go back to the drawing board. It's looking like I may attempt another one at the end of this year.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. I want more creative control about what we can do, about who we can be, you know what I'm saying, about when the fuck we can open up, when we can close, when I can walk in my shit. If I'm paying for it, there's certain things that I want. And so, and if it's for my community, I want to make sure that it's available. And so it wasn't available the way I could have it. So that's what needed to happen.
Right.
So I'm not trying to go and, you know, have Lion Like at somebody else's thing because they always put their own rules or regulations or they change the price on me or whatever. I'm not doing none of that. I'm going to open my own thing. That's it. From now on, if either open my own thing or I don't do nothing.
Where it's like more on your terms.
Yes.
You've been doing some spoken word shows. Some are out of state. What was that like?
Those are always fun. It's always fun leaving home, period. A lot of times, especially because they haven't heard a majority of your work. So they're like, when you go and you throw your poems out that are like 5 years old, that you're like, hey, this is boring to me sometimes, but then sometimes like you catch a new groove because it's their first time hearing it too. So sometimes it's like your first time doing it. So it's really like, it can be revitalizing.
Talking to you today, and you know, from previously talking to you in a past interview, and on social media and everything, you have a lot of confidence. Like, you're very confident in what you do and who you are. Going back to, you know, when you leave the state, you know, doing your performances there, is there any nervousness or not self-doubt, but you know, just like, I'm in a new area, this isn't, you know, what I'm used to performing at or whatnot? Is there something that you, or
it's always, I look at going, now that I work in construction, it's just like kind of going to a different construction site. Each site has its own terrain, has its own crew, has its own everything. So it's not just so much even out of state, it's venue to venue, it's church to church, everything's different. So I do the same thing that I do when I walk into, I just did a Cal State Serendino on Thursday. I didn't know who I was going to go be talking to yet, so I do the same thing I always do. I have I call it a phantom list of poems that I'm going to do, or at least what I'm going to say, a brainstorm list. And then when I get there, I just sit there for a moment, and I just watch them. And then the poems kind of say, you know, okay, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one, this is the one. I'm doing these. All right, and I think the other part of that is, am I always confident? No, I don't think any artist is always confident. Like, when it's a finished work, I'm confident in my finished work, or but you know, there are times where you go so long without being in your art that you might doubt that part. But do I doubt myself as an artist? Not so much.
You also did a collaboration on a song called Everybody with Curtis King with his recent release Jubilee. Was this a collaboration you guys wanted to do since day one, or was it he approached you like, hey, you know, you want to do this song?
Oh man, Curtis King. Yeah, Curtis King. Well, that's my brother from way back, from before his days with Common Ground and Noah and Black Cloud. You know, he's been doing his thing, and I've always been like, hey man, so you know, in the future, you ever need a poet, let me know. I always say it to everybody, you need a poet? Holler at me, let me know, I want to do something. And he was like, hey, I got this thing for you. I was like, okay, cool. When you need it? I think he said like 3 or 4 days or something like that. I was like, all right, well, I'll hurry up. And I laid it out and did it, and it ended up pretty good. Well, I guess it was some like always kept in the background, like I'm always going to do something with you. When the time's right, like I'm always going to, we both artists, you're my boy, why not? You know what I'm saying? So you make beats, I do poetry, we'll catch you in there somewhere.
In our last interview, you spoke of a release called Create the Digs. What's the update on that?
Create the Digs is the small label that it's going to be on. The album, the working title I think is going to be called still is New Molly Medium. There's another working title I have, but I'm not going to talk about that title yet.
Okay.
It'll probably be the actual title, the more I think about it. It's about 9 tracks in right now.
Oh.
It's about right. It's about ready. It's about ready. Ready to go to mix, ready to go to master, ready to put some, chickens in there and ready to do his thing. I feel good about that project. I feel good. I feel, I wanted to go more like in a hip-hop-ish direction with it, but I still ended up in a very obvious poetic place with it, which is interesting and cool.
You before the interview started, you mentioned that you're an emotional artist when it comes to putting paint on canvas.
I'm an emotional person when it comes to living life.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Is that like even music-wise, you seem like you use your emotions to not dictate, but choose what you want to do, and how is that? You find out, I guess, I don't know if this is a word, but cumbersome sometimes when your music's like, do you feel like, am I being too picky on certain things that I pick, or like beat wise, or what I'm gonna put out? And
being emotional is not cumbersome as an artist, because as an artist, your whole job is to kind of tap into those untapped emotions, and to translate them in a way that whatever audience you are trying to communicate to is catching that over whatever medium that it is that you're deciding to use. Whatever your emotion decides. Today, I need to write this poem. Tomorrow, that same emotion might dictate I might have to paint a picture.
Based on our last conversation, you went into what poets influenced you. The question I want to ask you was, were there any MCs that influenced your work?
Ooh, always. Wise, Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers, Pharaoh Monch, Talib, Mos Def, LP from Company Flow, Aesop Rock. Aesop Rock, really like Aesop Rock.
Yeah, that's a conversation that we get into later.
Yeah, like Aesop is like really thick with his shit.
Yes.
There are a lot of MCs, man. I just recently started getting the Bun B, but I wouldn't still like that dictated like how I write. I like Killer Priest. I like it's another artist named Timbo King or Timbuktu from my younger days. Just because they deal with like real spiritual concepts and really put them out. So MCs that influence me as a person. Run DMC. That shit was fucking awesome. I bang that shit all the time. Outkast. Awesome. I bang it all the time. Sometimes it's just the energy. Sometimes not even the lyricism. Sometimes it's just like, damn, how do you even muster that much energy? That's a lot of energy you just put out, dude. Like, how do you even do that? Sometimes I can do it, but I'm like, man, consistently, I'm thinking I can consistently rock 100 shows a year like that, man. Like, my body will completely break down.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
At the end of the day, when you decide to hang the mic up or put the pen down, what do you want people to say about you, your legacy, your career?
You know what I was thinking about that? When King David in the Bible died, it said like one sentence about King David. They said, after he served his generation, he rested with his fathers. That's it. I just served the generation, man. I'm trying to serve y'all. I'm not putting out these books and shit. Like most of them I take back down. Like I don't market my shit. I only market the stuff I do for the community. Or I do with the community. Or I only market myself to put myself in a position where I can do something for the community. Like it's not, I'm trying to serve. I'm trying to put the next generation on already. right now. Step on me right now. Not on my tombstone. Step on me right now. I'm gonna build some shit for you actually to step on. I want to build it for you, right? I want to see you guys flourish. That's important to me.
You have mentioned discipline. You know, I forgot which question it was, and you know, being a poet, there's a you know, a state of discipline that you gotta constantly be in to sit down and write what you do right. How do you, like, I guess, keep doing it? What gives you that drive to stay a poet? Because you're balancing a lot of things. You're a family man. You're in construction. You're an entrepreneur. You're a poet that dabbles in MC, and like how do you keep it all together? You know, I mean, that's a lot of things to juggle.
I don't write too much right now. My creative outlet for the last few years has been I'm a consultant for the Ontario Montclair School District with another poet, Superb, and Ricardo. We've been doing that for like 4 or 5 years, and so we teach for all the schools in that district, all the elementary schools and junior highs. So if you got any youngsters over there, they see me every year. I teach them poetry. I teach them about consciousness and awareness. I really give them some spiritual keys. The teachers be in the back crying, and that's awesome. So that is what keeps me going as an artist.
Awesome, man. Yo, again, thank you for inviting us to your home. Man.
No doubt.
Coming in and
Peace.
interview, man.
Untapped. Yo, I'll fight any inanimate object and win every battle. I'm not even from the projects. Y'all, did you hear about that Philadelphia project? They made a ship disappear for a couple seconds and the soldiers came home sick, like the weight loss when that heartbreak gets. Get down and get on up, I'm black and I'm proud, and James Brown said it. It sounds like Bob Marley, Marcus Garvey, Holly. Barry can't keep a man, neither can the government. Meant to say something different for the sake of symphonics, but in the water transformers, I'm that auto antibiotic. King David be the namesake, so even on autopilot, I'm the anti-Goliath. Stun a behemoth, cut the head off Leviathan. How can I do this? I eat me spinach, takes me vitamins, pay my tithes and my bills. No wonder why I'm blessed to get ill. Still at it after depression kicks in. I'm a microphone addict. Spitting be the remedy, writing be the vaccine. I inoculate the audience till they sick like me. I got a line like mine, state. Peace.